Welcome to my second episode of Thrash It, Don't Trash It. We're going to cheat a little bit today and dig out of the scrap box, but instead of becoming firewood, we're going to take these little pieces and make them into a beautiful body surfing hand plane. Here we got our 3/4 by 3/4 pieces all cut up. We're going to glue them together, make sure it's tight, let it sit overnight. Then we're going to cut it to length and plane it down to this beautiful hardwood panel. I'm going to take my template, cut it out with my jigsaw, shape my rails down a little bit. I'm going to take my palm router and round out a deep channel through the center bottom of this board. Once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and cut everything back up. I've decided to make a hollow chambered plane. Figured this would give me a little more buoyancy in it and cut some of the weight. So now I'm going to mark the pieces I'm going to keep, weigh everything out, and I'm going to cut out the insides of all these little pieces. Here we save almost an ounce per piece. I figured over the whole thing it was about 1/6 of the weight of the hardwood plane, so pretty good. Now that everything's cut and hollowed, we're going to go ahead and glue it all back up together, brush it on down, set it in the clamp, make sure it's tight again, chuck some shakas, and dig in the special box. So this is a little box of things that I keep. They have cool colors or a lot of little design to it, little detail. I have this hardwood piece we're going to cut in half, and we're going to take this little piece and make a little tail block on the end. Once we've glued and let that sit to dry, we're going to sand everything down, make sure it's nice and smooth, and we're going to get all that sawdust out of the inside. So here I'm going to mix up some epoxy. I'm going to wipe this on the inside and on the threads of my brass inserts. This is going to prevent water from getting inside the board when we ride it. Now that those are all in, we're going to go ahead and light up that brand, smash our brand on the bottom there. Looks great. LMC Board Co. right here in Huntington Beach, rocking out. I have a piece of 4-ounce glass. We're going to go ahead and cut it to shape. We're going to put our John Hancock on there, date it. This is my 44th hand plane. Now that we got that all done up, we're going to go ahead and do our first glassing schedule. Now that the bottom's done, I'm going to go ahead and put some tape on the brass insert so no resin gets inside there. Sand down our lap. We're now going to take another piece of 4-ounce cloth, cut our little relief cuts, and epoxy this sucker up. Looks nice, no puddles, beautiful. After that dries, we're going to take some quick kick here. I use a quick set epoxy through the whole thing on my fill and gloss coat. I'm going to put a additive F for surfacing. Here I use cheat brushes, so I'm just taking some boxing tape and getting rid of some of those bristles. Now that I've epoxied the top, torch her up a little bit, get all the air bubbles out. Gorgeous. We're going to do the exact same process on the bottom here. Mix some epoxy, bubbles out, beautiful shine there. Once it dries, we're going to sand the whole thing down with a piece of 220. Once this is really, really smooth, we're going to mix up another batch of epoxy, and we're going to do our top and bottom gloss coats. After both of our gloss coats are done here, we are going to sand this whole board. We're going to go from 400 to 600, and then we're going to wet sand all the way through 1500. Once we've done all the wet sanding on the board, I'm going to take a cutting compound and I am going to cut through this whole board and polish her to a shine. Once you have your desired shine on the board, I'm going to take some 1-inch nylon strap that I have here and a plastic buckle. We're going to cut this up and burn the edges so nothing frays. We're going to knock a hole through this so I can put my small brass bolt through. That's what I'm going to be connecting through to the board for my hand strap. Here we're going to wrap the buckle through. Pretty much the same process. We're going to tuck this under, make sure we get a hole popped in there, and that is what will get bolted right onto the board. It's nice having a little adjustment in the hand plane. That way either my big hand or someone's hand smaller can fit in pretty easy. So we got the buckle side. Now we're going to do the strap side. Pull that sucker down. Beautiful, finished body surfing hand plane. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Thrash It, Don't Trash It. Shout out to the boys, Mike on guitar, Tyler on bass, and yours truly jamming them drums for you. We'll see you on the next one. Shoot!